Hello, everyone. In today's video, we'll be conducting a World Series based on a recently completed sim auction involving the players from the 1972 White Sox, 1978 Pirates, 2000 Rockies, 2004 Dodgers, and 2009 Twins. Now, these teams were selected because they represent the best seasons in the careers of recently inducted Hall of Famers Dick Allen, Dave Parker, Tod Helton, Adrian Beltre, and Joe Mauer. Now, to get more details on the historical teams, please take a look at my auction video. As a reminder, in most sim auctions, we take the players from 5 great historical teams or teams with significant individual performances. We make all the players free agents, and then from that player pool, we create a brand new teams via an auction. Now, in the sim auction version of a World Series, which we will play today, we simulate entire seasons using the APBA computer game. Each season counts as one game, and then the team that wins 4 seasons wins the Sim Auction World Series. So before we dive into the actual simulations, let's just take a look at the teams that resulted from our auction. Let's see, maybe Teddy, we'll start with you. Let me pull up your team. So Teddy, obviously your hitting is pretty fierce. We know that. What do you like? What don't you like? Or do you like everything about the hitting part?
Um, yeah, I mean, I ended up having the only negative, I guess, is that I ended up having to play Dave May a bit. He's obviously the one bad piece, but for the most part, I felt really good about it. I thought there was a really large gap at catcher, so I spent a lot getting Mauer.
Yeah,
And then, yeah, I think I have a pretty good mix of lefties and righties. Have some switch guys there. I think the defense is decent too. I think good
yeah,
shortstop defense. Core is a good second baseman. So yeah, I mean
yeah.
I don't necessarily I mean I feel like I had just barely enough at bats, so that would be maybe one negative, but yeah.
Yeah. No, it's a great hitting team. I mean, I think your assessment is good. Your defense definitely is good. You know, Beltre's 5 at third. You got a 9 catcher. Um, I mean, Beltre at 35, I thought was nice. You and I discussed Mauer before, because you asked me, what I thought about the price. And based, if we factor in scarcity, it makes sense, that you paid that. Um, so it's the best hitting team without a doubt. So good job by you. And you spent a lot early, but you still managed to, you just kind of laid low for the middle part of the auction, and you were able to do some things at the end too. So that was good. Um,
Yeah,
now,
I almost wonder if I got too worried in the middle and laid too low, but I guess it worked out.
now it worked out because you didn't leave any money unspent, so you did fine. And maybe did you leave maybe like $1 unspent? Yeah, $3. That's no big deal. Um, so the other side of the coin, though, of course, as we all know, is the pitching. Um, you got the best pitcher in the auction, so that's always helpful.
Yeah, I got
Um,
the best pitcher in the auction. I have a few good I mean, Gabe White's a pretty good reliever.
yeah,
Drabowski's decent. Brazaban, but yeah, my rotation um
after Wood,
after Wood, I guess, is pretty bad. So, I'm hoping Bohannon is not too terrible, but definitely not great. So, and
yeah,
then
you're gonna have
after him, it's real bad. So,
you're gonna have to hit, yeah. And you're right, White is terrific with the 84 innings. Drabowski and Brazoban are nice, but they don't have a ton of innings, 35 and 32. So that potentially could hurt you a little bit. So yeah, it's pretty clear. You're gonna have to hit your way to victories. All right, cool. Let me see. Nick's not here, so let me just say a couple of things about his team. Composite OPS 726, so not too bad. Um, let's see. Moreno at 12, so he's got some speed. Sean Green at 15, I like. Larry Walker at 17, some decent at bats there. Morneau at 21, I think is fair. Um, the thing that I think hurt Nick a bit is, and this happened to him in his first auction too. I think he was just a little bit conservative. There were a few spots where I thought he could have been a little bit more aggressive, even if it meant a slight overpay. Sometimes you have to overpay to get a piece that you need. So decent hitting, and then on the pitching side, a little bit of the issue that Teddy has, but with one huge exception. He doesn't have Wilbur Wood. You know, there's a lot of guys here that are not that great. He's using Keeson as a starter, which is probably something that he needed to do based on the other starters that he had. He does have good relief though, so there's always the potential to steal some games at the end there because he does have good relief.
I think he left quite a bit more money on the table than I did, although I think he spent the $22 at the end on Tavares. Was that the last thing he did?
Correct. He spent Tavares. I thought I had this sorted before in a certain way. He spent who was it? Tavares.
It looks like probably Tavares, right? He wouldn't have spent $22.
Yeah, exactly. It was 22 on Tavares, and he also spent, I believe, there was somebody else that he could have had for less, and he spent.
Eddie Fisher is the lot right before him for
Yeah,
$10. I don't know if that was the guy, but
that's the one. He didn't need to spend 10. So technically, Nick probably underspent by about $30, which really hurts. Because those would have been $30, like for example, that he could have used to bid you up, Derek, on Allen and Parker. Just to use an example. Yeah.
yes.
So it's always tricky if you're too conservative. It can hurt you. So you need to be able to determine at what point in the auction is the talent really departing quickly, and then strike, even if it means overpaying a bit. So we'll see how everything plays out, but it's kind of difficult to be competitive when you underspend by $30.
I mean, he had a couple of good late bids there, like Garner and maybe one or two of the pitchers that he picked up a little bit later that he could just outbid people. But like you said, 30. You don't want to leave 30 on the table.
No, it's rough. It's especially in this auction that was really competitive. And I thought you guys really priced the players well. I mean, Derek, you and I have been in some auctions where you can sense that there is some heavy overpricing. This one, I really felt like everybody had a pretty good handle on the values.
Definitely.
Yeah. Let's take a look at Paul's team. So Paul's team is sort of the opposite of Teddy's. So let's take a look at his pitching first, because that's the strength of the team. $184 on pitching. That's a lot. So obviously Paul's strategy was pretty clear. He was going to try to have the best pitching and make that his play to try to win this. So he definitely got some great pitching. He got the second best starter in Blyleven. And then the other guys that he got were also quality. But as we all know, quality is a relative term, that it depends on the actual player population in that auction. So although in this auction, a 10 and an 11 and a 12 were quality, in another auction, those would have been just sort of mid-range pitchers. And Derek and I were talking maybe before I started recording, but if Paul was going to use this strategy, I think it might have been better if he had gone after Wood and gotten Wood and Blyleven and then filled it in with a couple of other guys. And if you use just these prices as an example, Odalis Perez 33, Brad Penny 20. That's 53, which is almost what you paid for Wilbur Wood, 55. Now the only caveat to that is I don't know how high you would have gone with for Wood, Teddy. I took you up to 55. But, if you had gone a lot higher, then I don't think Paul would have been able to implement that strategy. But I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, I would have gone a little higher. I think I would have gone to about 60.
Yeah, that's what I figured. But again, I think for Paul to implement an all-in strategy on pitching, I almost feel like he absolutely needed to get Blyleven to make that work. And then with the hitting, obviously, when you spend 184 on pitching, it's gonna limit your options when it comes to hitting. I thought he did a nice job of getting as much hitting as he could get, based on how much he spent on pitching. But just based on the Sims, I don't think it's not going to be enough. So, all right. So that's Paul's team.
The other thing is, it doesn't look like he has very much defense. I don't know how important that is, but
that is actually very astute that you caught that point, because when we do the Sims, you will notice that Paul's team is the worst in defense. And if you have a superior team, the defense will not sink you. But if your team is on the edge of being good or not, the defense will hurt you. And in this case, it did hurt Paul's team. Yeah. Let's take a look at Derek's team. So obviously, Derek, I loved Allen and Parker, but you got some other guys too. But I think you mentioned Cirillo was the one that maybe you should have used that money for some pitching.
Definitely. Yeah, that one kind of crippled me at the end because that was lot 49. So we went another 70 some odd picks, and I think my max bid at that point was 4.
Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah. Yeah, it would have been nice to have that $23 for flexibility to pick up a pitcher here or there that you could have sniped in.
But I don't think that's much of an overpay for Cirillo, right? He was very good.
No, it's not.
No, that was actually I think that I had him listed at 22. So
yeah, no.
And he had 51 doubles or something. So it was kind of like, all right, I need a third baseman. This is in his price range, but I just wasn't looking ahead to like, oh, this is gonna. I'm just gonna run out of funds if I get him. So
yeah, he was probably a top 5 right-handed hitter in the whole draft. There wasn't a lot of righty hitting.
Yeah. I'm not upset that I got him. I'm just upset that I wasn't really looking ahead to see like, okay, now I'm not going to be able to outbid anybody for the remaining, even though the pitching at that point was pretty thin. I needed some guys, and I wasn't going to be able to get. You can see some of the guys I got stuck with. So I'm happy with my relief.
The relief is awesome.
I hope my manager has a really quick hook.
Yeah. The only comment I'll make about the relief, and I noticed this has happened in a few different auctions that have a lot of relief. You can get too much relief, and then the manager struggles to actually spread out the usage. So for example, even with Buck Miller 2, it might be difficult to utilize all of Tekulve's 135 innings.
Yep.
Because you have guys that, for example, Gagne's 82, Forster's at 100, even Whitson's at 74. So it's almost like you got to be really careful not to get too much relief, because sometimes the sim managers just will not be able to use all those innings.
I thought that my starters were going to get bombed so badly that they would get utilized, but I hear what you're saying as well.
Yeah. And then with my guys, so I wasn't necessarily planning on getting Helton at 51, but I'm glad I did. He was the best hitter in the auction. If you don't factor in scarcity, obviously I know Maurer from a scarcity standpoint was up there. So I was happy to get Helton. I'm batting him leadoff to maximize all those at bats. By batting him leadoff, I probably get an extra 50 at bats out of him. Finley, I'm happy with. So I'm happy with Spahn as well. Cabrera, Hammonds. My better hitters, I'm happy with. And you made a comment about Kelly. You're right about Kelly, Derek. I got a really good deal on Kelly.
I think I had him listed for 12 or something, 14, somewhere in that range. So
very happy with Kelly at that price.
Yeah.
And then even with a guy, again, I was looking to exploit the bad catching arms in this auction. Julio Cruz, I was happy with for $2. Enzo Hernandez as part of my DH platoon. Again, it's got some speed. I was happy with. So I was able to get a couple of cheapy guys that with speed. I was happy about it. And then on the pitching side, I almost thought of taking Teddy up on Wood. I thought, you know what, I probably could have gone a couple of dollars more on him, but you know what, I took you up to 55, so I thought that was fair. And then I did want to get some pitching, which I did. I got, I spent the second most on pitching behind Paul. And even though Weaver, Blackburn, and Lima are sevens, keep in mind that anybody with a platoon factor of 1 as a righty pushes these guys over to an 8, which is significant. And the other significant piece is that they all have Z's, which means they don't walk a lot of guys. So that's a huge piece too. And then I tried to sort of practice what I preach. I tried to get just enough relief, not too much. A 13, a 17, an 11, a 9, just enough. And then I benched Lamp just to make sure that he wasn't used. So I'm going to be using just these guys here.
So question for you there with,
yep.
If you can go back to pitching for 1 second, right? So you've got 1598 total innings.
Yeah.
But if you bench Lamp, then you're under the 1400 inning.
Correct.
Minimum.
I'm at 1397. So the innings threshold is just for the auction. Just satisfy during the auction.
Mm-hmm.
After the auction, if you feel like your team can operate with a little less than 1400, go for it. But you better be right, because if you're not, then your guys are gonna pitch fatigued.
Yep.
So
Understood.
it was a little bit of a calculated gamble, but I felt, you know what, I'm right about 1400, mm-hmm. and the APBA game allows a little bit of a cushion for most pitchers. So, for example, a guy that pitched 200, he technically won't get tired until about 210 pitches or innings or so. So there's always a little bit of a cushion.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah. All right. I think that covers the analysis piece. Let's see how all this plays out. All right. Let's bring up League Manager.
Candelaria was one of those guys I wish I had pushed it a little further too. You know.
Yeah, Candelaria I had priced a little bit higher than 22, but it's interesting because, so let me bring that up for a second again.
Does the same thing happen with hitting where they can go slightly over?
Most of them, well, a little bit, not as much as pitchers. Typically, you can probably factor in like an extra 10 innings pitched on pitchers. And it's interesting. It's not necessarily all, and I'll tell you why. The APBA game actually doesn't go off innings pitched. It goes off batters faced. So the bad pitchers won't necessarily give you that extra, rather the bad pitchers won't necessarily give you that bump because they might reach those batters face limits faster. The good pitchers, you might get a bump because they'll be facing less batters faced. The reason that I decided to go with innings pitched threshold for what we look at is because if you have never played APBA or know nothing about APBA, the batters faced number won't really mean much to you. Not only that, it's easier to find innings pitched on Baseball Reference than it is to find batters faced. So if you want to do your own research, innings pitched is easier. But the game itself, the APBA game itself, goes off of batters face, which is pretty equivalent to innings pitched when all is said and done, but not always. There was something I was going to say, and I totally forgot.
I mentioned Candelaria, and you went back to the screen.
Yes. Yeah. So Candelaria, I had priced a little bit higher than 22, so I was happy to get him at 22. Mm-hmm. But then I end up overpaying for Don Robinson at 31, in my opinion. So it kind of evened out. So sometimes you get a couple of dollars on one guy, but you end up spending them on another. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, so just confirming, you guys can see the League Manager screen?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Let's make sure we're starting at 0-0. All right, here we go. Season 1 underway. All right, I'm gonna have to stop and check a box score in a second. I saw an 18-12 box score there. Let's just
Yeah,
stop
I think
and
I lost a game there, 18-12.
yeah, let's stop at the end of this day, check our standings. All right, so right now, let's see, we are at, I got a slight lead over Paul. Everybody right now is in it except probably Nick's team early on, but it's only 22 games into the season. Paul 3 out, Derek and Teddy 4 out. So still very, very early. And let's take a look at that box score and see what that's all about. All right, Derek. So Wilson Alvarez started a game and he did not do well.
He did not. But what did I do here? Well, there's Tekulve, couple innings.
Yeah.
My bullpen came in to save the day for you.
Yeah. Well said, Teddy.
All right, so Parker and Allen went deep for me, and Teddy had Jose Hernandez and Bill Melton. All right.
Yeah.
Four hit day for Cesar Torres.
Really?
Yeah, that's probably his career best hitting game.
Parker 6 ribbies, Allen 4 hits, 5 ribbies. Okay.
Nice.
Steve Bry. Look at that. 4 RBIs.
So Teddy, even your ace got clobbered. White comes in and he doesn't have it either.
Nope. Well, my second starter, this isn't Wood, but yeah.
Yeah. Nope. Nobody had it. All right. All right. So that was interesting. Let's see if we can get things rolling again. All right. Here we go. Now let's take a look at how we're doing here. Teddy, I'm in the lead, but you are right behind me, and so is Derek. Paul is still in it, actually, too. So Nick's a little bit behind, but it's still early after 44 games. So it looks like we are at the All-Star break here. Past the All-Star break. Let's take a look at our standings. Uh-oh, Teddy in the lead now. 4 over me. Everybody else is falling back. I think we're going to keep it right here because it looks like everybody else has fallen back.
Yeah, I went into a tailspin there. That was rough.
Teddy opens it up to 6 games. 5.5 now. Whoa, what happened there?
Whoa.
Teddy wins 9 in a row. Now I'm 12 back. Looks like this might be over. All right, chop in the lead a little bit, but now Teddy's got a magic number. Back to 10. I think this is Teddy's season without a doubt. Magic number of 12.
Wow, everybody else is pretty far back there besides you.
Yeah. Yeah, you got this one. Magic number of 6. Magic number 2. That should just about do it. And let's see if there's any rainouts. No rainouts. So the final tally for season 1, Teddy wins season 1 by a healthy 8 games. Well done. 106 victories, Teddy.
Wow. I didn't expect things to go quite that well. Wow.
You can thank me later for giving you Buck Miller too.
Yeah. Thank you.
Let me save this and then we'll go back to season 2. Let's see.
All the stadiums are the same, right? Or
yeah, the game does have a par factors, but I don't use them. So
okay.
Yeah, all the stadiums are the same.
That was just a practice round, right?
Well, hopefully he doesn't get much better than that because 106 victories, that's an awesome season. All right, 106 for Teddy.
You know what's the single season wins record that you've seen? I assume more than that.
I think there was one season where Steve and I played one-on-one where I won like 118 games. I think that's the
Oh
record.
wow. Okay. So I think that's one short of the MLB record, right?
No, the MLB record's 116 by the 1906 Cubs and 2001 Mariners.
For some reason I thought it was 119, but I had the right
No.
team in mind. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, the 06 Cubs and the 01 Mariners. Of course, the 06 Cubs did it in 144 games, so it's a better winning percentage.
Right.
Nick, 67. Let's see, Paul, 65. Derek, 60. So Derek, you were there for like the first quarter, and then all of a sudden, the wheels fell off.
Yep. Not totally unexpected.
Yeah. Well, I
given
must say that was
pitching woes.
Yeah. All right, let me save the stats in the other module, and we'll come back to run season 2. And then we'll look at the whatever the deciding season is, we'll actually take a look at all the stats too. I just don't want to slow us down too much here. All right, let's save season 1. All right, guys, just confirming you can see League Manager again?
Yes.
Okay. Let me erase these stats. So we're back to 0-0. All right, here we go. Season 2 is on its way. Let's take a look at the early going here. Teddy in the lead. I'm right behind him, and so is Derek and Nick. Paul is falling behind.
Oh, I saw rain out there.
All right, so we have at least one rain out. Let's take another look and see how we're doing here. Uh-oh, Andy goes over Teddy now, but Teddy, you're right there, and so is Derek, and so is Nick. The only one falling behind a little bit is Paul. All right, we're past the All-Star break. Let's take a look. Derek goes over Teddy. Derek is right there. I think we'll just keep it right here the rest of the way. Uh-oh, I opened it up to 8.5.
Oh man, that's
Teddy 9.5, but it's still, there's only 87 games played. Still plenty to go here. Teddy 6.5. You bit into my lead. Derek's at 7. Back up to 8 after 108 played. 7.5, holding steady. 115 played. 8.5. We see a magic number now. Derek's at 8.5. Teddy's at 10.5. Magic number of 10. I think I might have this one. Knock on wood. Magic number 15, rather. Magic number 4. I think that should do it. I think there should be at least one rain out. Let's reschedule this. All right, final tally, season number 2. Teddy comes in second, 9 out. Derek, you faded a little bit more at the end there, but it's over 500. Nicely done. 81 victories. Yeah, nicely done.
I'll take it after season 1 there.
Yeah, that's good. Excellent. You did again fade a little bit in the second half though, so it's like that as they get into, as your manager gets into the bottom of your rotation, it definitely has an impact.
Yep.
All right, let's tabulate these numbers, and then I'll go back and save season 2.
Well, 90 wins is good, but quite a drop off there from season 1.
Oh, it's awesome. I mean, you're averaging 98 victory for 2 seasons now. So
yeah.
let's see, Nick 75, Paul 55. Yeah, see that Paul's team just he could have used either another hitter, like significant hitter, or he could have used going after Wood, one or the other. But he's kind of caught in a little bit of a limbo zone. All right, that takes care of season 2 for this. Let me go and save the stats.
I'm reading Nolan Ryan biography, and there's a lot of discussion on, he's basically like a 500 pitcher for the Angels and this and that. It's like, yeah, because they had no offense, and he had to go out there and pretty much pitch a shutout if he wanted to get a win.
Exactly.
So it's kind of like Ball's team, I guess, right now.
That's
you can have all the pitching in the world, but you gotta score a couple runs.
That is a perfect comparison. All right, let's see. Pitching is saved. Let me save the hitting. So I got that saved. Let me double check to make sure, and we'll get into season 3. Looks good. Let's pull up League Manager again. Just confirming, can you see League Manager?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Let me erase season 2. All right, 0-0, season 3. Here we go. Gotta stop it for a second. I see a 17-0 game. All right, let's see. First of all, early going. Let's see how we're doing here. Derek in first place after 16 games. Teddy's in second. I'm in third. And then Nick and Paul. All right. Let's take a look.
Early to get excited about that, but
I know, but you got to take small victories wherever you can find them,
True.
All right. Let's take a look at this game that caught my eye here. So let's see, 17-0. Actually, my guys pitched 2 consecutive shutouts, 17-0 and 11-0 against, a good pitching team. What happened here?
Yep.
All right, so Stan Bonson did not have it, and neither did the bullpen. Weaver pitches.
Jeff Weaver, wow.
Yeah, Weaver pitches a complete game, and then Hammond.
Yeah, but when you look at that lineup, you can just you can see why.
Right. Yeah. Hammond's two homers, drives in 5, so he was the star of the game. Nicely done. All right. And then my guys followed up with another shutout, 11-0 this time. So Perez doesn't have it. His best reliever doesn't have it. And my other grade 7 pitcher does pretty good also. All right. All right. Can't go wrong with 2 consecutive shutouts. All right. Let's take a look at a couple more here since we have this stopped. So Teddy, you beat Paul here 11-7 in 11 innings. All right, nothing too unusual there. Spread out nicely. And let's see if we can get a game for you, Derek, here.
It's like I beat you 9-zip there on.
Yeah,
on the,
let's see what happened there. Baker, your ace. There you go.
yeah, all right.
Four-hit game
Baker.
for May.
Oh yeah, Carlos May
May
right
had
at the
and
top.
May had two homers. Wow.
Okay.
Nice game. Dick
I
Allen
don't
hits
remember
a
what I
six.
spent on him, but I thought he was a decent pickup.
He was. I actually wanted him, and I just at that point I had already purchased, I think, Finley, and it was too late. All right, cool. Let us keep rolling here. All right, let's take a look. Derek, 2.5 over Teddy after 34 games. I'm dropping to 7. Let's take another look. 3.5, and I'm still lurking at 7.5. But Derek holding the lead now after 55 games. It's starting to get interesting. Approaching the All-Star break.
Okay, you took 2 out of 3 from me there.
All right. Teddy jumps into first, though. 3 over Derek. I'm 7 out. Teddy, 6.5 and 8.5 over Derek.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
10 now. It looks like Teddy might have this one in the bag. Let's just keep it right here. Still 10 after 110 games. Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
I'm making a run.
Wow.
Lose 7 in a row, win 7 in a row. Drop it to 4. Oh, catch Teddy.
Wow.
35 magic number for both teams, but Derek is still lurking.
Wow.
3-game lead now with 22 magic number.
Brutal.
Still 3 magic of 15. 4.5 magic of 9. 5 magic 3. Clinch.
Wow.
Ooh.
That was a dramatic one.
I thought you had that one because you had what, like a 10-game lead over me at one point.
Yeah. I wonder if your team just has more for the back end of the season or something.
Well, it does, because keep in mind my starting pitching is not spectacular, but it's steady. Like there's no dark hole in my pitching. All right, let me save this. So that was a crucial season there because I thought you had that one, Teddy.
Yeah, I did too. Didn't even end up very close though.
Ended up being 8.
Yeah.
And Derek, you were leading for what? A good even.
I was into mid-May there at least. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then we cratered a bit, but yeah, finished over 500 again.
Yep. All right, season 3 is in the books. Let me save it on the StatMaster program, and we'll come back for season 4.
I'd love to sneak in there and pull one out by a game or two, but it doesn't look like it's in the cards for me here.
In the Sims, you actually did win a few seasons here and there. I did I mean, I'm obsessive, so you know I probably do like a gazillion simulations, but there you did win a couple.
Yeah.
Are you willing to like share like how many you and I won, or?
There were a couple of seasons where you won, you know, like I won four, you won two. But I don't want to give it all away, Teddy.
Okay, okay.
Right, let's see, race season 3. All right, looks good. Just confirming you guys can see League Manager.
Yep.
All right, cool. Here we go. Season 4 underway. Right, let's see how we're doing early on. All right, I got a small lead over Paul. Teddy 5 back, Nick 5.5, Derek 6.5. Very early after 20 games. All right, I just saw Teddy beat Derek a couple of times. Let's take a look here. 5.5 over Paul and Teddy. Nick 8. Derek so far a rough season. All right, let's take another look. Opening it up now. 10 over Paul and 10 over Teddy. We're past the All-Star break now. Right, let's take another look here. Teddy 9 cut into the lead a bit after 96 games, so this could get interesting. Back to 10 though. Teddy, Paul, Nick, and Derek. Let's just keep it right here. Teddy bites into the lead, cuts 2 off, 8 now after 119 games. Still at 8, but now we have a magic number. Whoa, 4.5. Teddy bites into the lead big time. 21 magic number. Oh, back to 8. Back to 8.5. Magic number of 7 now. After my team wins 8 in a row there. All right, we got a clincher.
All right.
See if there are any rainouts. Looks like we have at least one. All right, final tally, season 4. Teddy, you've been very consistent.
Yeah.
About 90 wins every single season. Derek, you were at the bottom for a while, and you clawed your way back into the middle.
I was going to say I salvaged, yes, I didn't finish 500, but
Yeah,
I guess the last month or two there, I perked up
yep.
somehow.
Right, let me save these numbers. Let's see, season 4.
And it looks like my bullpen not really helping me out there. 18 and 26 in 1-run games.
Good point.
Which means I'm so far behind it doesn't matter.
You have good guys.
Yeah. It's just that if I'm losing by 5 or 6 runs and I bring in a Tekulve or a Forster, it doesn't matter unless I can claw my way back.
Correct. That's exactly it. All right, let's see. We got 4 seasons in the books. I'm gonna go ahead and save that, and we'll come back and we'll run season 5. All right, good. So 4. Let me double check to make sure I got everything saved. Let's see, pitching season 4, hitting qualitative 4, quantitative 4, and the summary. Okay, good. So all that's saved. Back to our league manager. Let's go ahead and reset those stats. So we're back to 0-0. And here we go, gentlemen. Season 5 on its way. Teddy gets off to a strong start, shutting me out 10-0. Wilbur Wood.
Ooh, Paul beat me 20-2, I saw.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw 17-2 also. Here's another one. Paul beating Teddy 17-2.
I don't think I'm doing very well after that first game.
Some high-scoring games early on.
Maybe there I started to do a little better.
Let's see. Early on here.
I don't think I'm doing well this one.
You're right. I'm off to a fast lead here. 6 over Derek, 6.5 over Teddy, 7 over Nick, 8 over Paul, but it's only 33 games. All right, let's see what we're up to here. All right, 10-1, Teddy wins 12-8 and 8-6. So Teddy just took a few from me. Let's take a look. Still the big lead. Derek is in second, tied with Nick, and Teddy is in third. My team is saying, okay, that's it. Let's finish it here. Let's not take it to season 6. See if they can do it. Let's take a look. Still at 10. Teddy's at 10. Derek's at 15.5. $12.5 now. We have a magic number, so let's just keep it right here now. 10.5 Derek. 10.5 Teddy now behind. Magic number 13. Magic number 1. 147 played. Let's see.
Wow, this season was not close.
6 games left. Let's see if there's any rainouts. At least one. $98. No, this one really was not that close from the start. So let's pull up season 5 and jot down these numbers. Teddy, you're at 81. Derek 77.
56-24 on the road, Andy.
Wow. Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Paul was 28-52 at home, so
Ouch.
sounds like you beat him up at home.
Yeah.
Well, Andy, congratulations.
Congrats.
Well, I appreciate it, guys. More than anything, though, I appreciate you guys doing this. I said it at the end of the auction. I'm just thankful that that both of you find the challenge interesting and find this interesting and continue to do it. I'm very appreciative of that. So Teddy, I mean, you got off to a blazing start. I mean, you actually had the highest win season of any of the seasons.
Yeah, I was pretty optimistic there after the first one, but
yeah. And then my guys came roaring back. So
yeah.
But nicely done in that first season. And honestly, nicely done all the way around. I mean, you averaged 92 wins per season.
Yeah, I was going to say, other than season 5, you mean, yeah, excellent run there. So,
Andy, have you
Absolutely.
lost one of these before?
This season, this season, I did lose one. I lost. Which one was that, Derek? Oh, the one
Steve,
to.
when Steve had all the pitching, right?
That's right. Where Steve had all the pitching, and then Nick left $49 unspent, and Nick could have used some of that money to to try to chip away at some of Steve's pitching. But even with all that, I made it close. Wasn't that the one where we had two seasons determined by run differential?
Yes. Yeah, there were
Yes.
two where you both tied in for
Yeah.
wins at the end of the season. Yep.
Yeah. So Teddy, in that one that I lost to Steve, there were two seasons where we had to I had to go back to the Statmaster program, add up the run differential to see who actually won, because we
Wow.
ended up tied for both seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I'll have to watch the video of that.
Yeah, that one was awesome. That was I think the closest we've ever had. I mean, he
Yep.
ended up winning 4 games, 4 seasons to one, but two of them were decided by run differential. And then when I tallied up the run differential at the end of the simulation, I actually beat him by one. Like I was actually plus 137. He was like plus 136 or something. So,
Wow. There
yeah,
was
it was.
one where me, you, and Michael were all pretty close.
Yes, that was one. That's another one that went. That's the one that I had to go 10 seasons to determine a winner. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
another. That was
I
another.
think it was 4-3 to 2-1 in seasons. I don't know if
Correct.
the one was Derek. The one might have been Derek or
Yep, I think Derek might have won.
Probably me.
Yeah, no, I think
I
Derek
remember
won
that
one
one.
there. Yes, and I
Yeah.
think Scott was in that one too. Scott Corlander. So, all right, let me save the stats, and then we'll go over actually the stats for this final season. We'll review those. All right, so I got this saved. Hey Teddy, is that game base hit free or do you pay for it?
it's free.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna have to check it out.
and one of the guys who's been playing since basically when it started, which was around 2000, he became a CEO of a like sports drinks company and sold it, and now he's just putting the money into base hit without. I think he's just taking a loss, but they are developing and making improvements to the game despite the fact
Nice.
that the users are not paying. So
Wow, that's great. So it's a labor of love.
yeah, yeah, exactly,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's great.
But yeah, you
All right.
guys definitely should join.
Yeah, hey, you can't be free. I think I told you in the past I've played What If Sports, but that's What If Sports is similar, but also very pricey because it's $12.95 a season. I mean, it
Yeah,
doesn't sound it doesn't
sounds
sound
that
like a lot,
sounds
but it adds up.
yeah, no, I mean that sounds pretty expensive
Yeah,
if you're playing many seasons, yeah.
yeah, compared to free. All right,
Yeah.
let me share the StatMaster program here. All right, guys, can you see the yellow screens?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So this first one is going to be pitching. Let me sort it by innings pitched. Let's see what you were able to get out of Wilbur Wood in this one. Yeah, not bad. 365, real life 376.
Okay, yeah, that's better than I expected.
Yeah, yeah. So
He did
I mean,
well too. The rest of my pitching must have been abysmal though.
yeah, the average will likely fall into like 350 range, pretty much like I said in my sort of like in my prep email that factor that in that you're not probably not going to get 376 out of them.
Yeah.
But still that's a great year. 264. Nice. Um
Yeah, I had a 586 out of Scott Baker, so uh, that doesn't
that
bode well for the rest of my
no
staff, I don't think.
no that does not bode well at all. And Nick with a 7-20, 634 Carl Pavano, that won't help your cause either. Yeah.
Yeah, that was his ace, right?
Nice year out of Tacova there.
Yeah, how many innings did you get out of Colby? Let's see.
111.
Okay, that's not bad. 136
112 out of
there.
Forster, 111 out of Tekulve. So that's
All
He
right.
might have
pretty
gotten
good.
he might have been some people's second place in Cy Young voting given the other options here.
Yeah.
All right, so good job there. See a couple of my guys. Let me see Robinson, 375, 372, Candelaria, Weaver, decent. Lima, decent.
Hey, you thought you overpaid for Don Robinson, but he went 18-7.
Yeah, no, I guess I got my money's worth there. 218 innings out of him. Yeah. All right. And let me see, what did my reliever do? My Horace. All right, I can't complain about that. 38 saves, 235 ERA. Okay.
Oh wow. Okay. What did
Right.
I'm just curious. What did Gagne do?
Let's see.
I don't think he threw that many innings. Probably got to scroll down a bit more. There he is.
Yeah,
20
57.
saves.
Yeah. 57 innings. At real life was 82, so a little bit under usage there.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Like you said, too many good relievers. The manager doesn't know what to do at that point.
No, they struggle with it. With one caveat, if your pitching staff is good, I think they could use it better. But a lot of times, I think if you have a blowout, then sometimes the micromanager will just use one of your crappier relievers, and now all of a sudden you leave Gagne, unused.
Yep. Makes sense. You don't want to burn them up when you don't, if you're losing anyway. But
right.
So
but
Andy will. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, what I was saying is, but then what ends up happening is you might. So maybe you might never then use Gagne, which is exactly what happened. You save him for something that never comes.
yeah. We never got the lead, so.
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, Teddy, I cut you off.
Yeah, no worries. So would February 16th be the last one until like December of next year or something, or December this year, I guess?
What I was hoping to do, you guys, is and I think I've mentioned this before to a few people, but I'd love to get just enough people that have tried this that it would allow me to do like one a month. So that way I would always have 5 people that would be interested in doing it. So I would love to do one a month year round. But
yeah, my dad expressed interest, so
I'd love for him to do that, and you be part of it. So what I am going to do is just pause it a bit for now for the fantasy baseball drafts, because like for example, I'm going to be in 3 that Derek runs for the Society for American Baseball Research. So that kind of takes care of 3 weekends, and then I have another one that I do with a bunch of friends of mine. So I kind of have to pause it for after the one coming up on the 16th. I'll probably pause it through April, and then Teddy, I'm going to try to kick it back into gear, and I'm going to really try to do one a month. I just really enjoy doing these, and hopefully I'll have enough people to be able to do one a month. If not, maybe one every other month, and then I'll try to do like what we've been doing in the off season, because I think more people are more willing to do it in the off season, because obviously there's no baseball to watch. It's cold. You want to get a little bit of a baseball fix. So definitely it's more geared to the off season, but I'm hoping that I can get away with being able to do one a month in the future at some point.
Yeah, makes sense.
All right.
Well, I would definitely be interested throughout the year. So
awesome. Yeah. Thank you. And definitely you're good for Sunday the 16th?
Yes.
Okay. I haven't decided on the teams yet, but I'm leaning to sticking with the Hall of Fame theme. I just don't know if it'll be like 5 recent ones or whether I'm gonna be random, because if I follow the sequence, in other words, try to do it just chronologically going backwards, it would be Ichiro's best season, Sabathia's best season, Billy Wagner's
Ichiro's
best.
might be I guess it could be the 01 Mariners, the best, that 116.
Well, I'm going with the player's best season, not necessarily.
So maybe 04. I think that's when he had the
04
272.
is the best one. Yeah. And 04 is not a great Mariner team, but it is Ichiro's best season. Then it would be Sabathia, Wagner, Scott Rowland, and Fred McGriff. Those would be the next 5 chronologically. And there's definitely good stuff to choose from there. Ichiro batted 372 that year. Sabathia had probably his best year was with the Brewers, 08. Billy Wagner would probably be the 1999 Astros, who had a very nice hitting team. Bagwell had an OPS over 1,000. The '04 Cardinals would be Roland's best year. He had an OPS over 1,000, and you also had Jim Edmonds and Pujols with OPSs over 1,000.
Wow.
And then McGriff had a bunch of really good years. I'd probably go with the 1989 Jays. So those are that's kind of what I'm thinking right now. But I might choose 5 other Hall of Famers. All right, what do we got here? We have the qualitative hitting. Let's do that by OPS.
If I can just bandwagon for a second, Teddy, if you're interested, or if anybody else who's watching the video, we do have a few openings in our Saber fantasy leagues. So,
correct. Yeah.
Got weekly and daily leagues with a few openings in each one. So it's kind of standard 5x5 format, right, Andy? There's nothing like it's pretty basic. There's nothing like nothing too crazy.
No,
I've never played in one, so I'd be interested in hearing how it works. I don't know if you want to tell me now or after the recording, or either way.
I'll shoot you an email with the link with the rules, and then if you have any questions, it's really straightforward though. But
cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's free. I guess the
Free
only quirky part is that there is some retention of players.
Yeah, we can keep up to 8.
Yeah.
And the salary from the previous season, we increase it by 5. So if
how
you
does it work for a new person? They just have no keepers, I guess?
No, you're going to inherit somebody's team who left.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay.
So then you'll look over the rosters of the open or the available teams. You'll pick one of them, and then from whatever they had last year, you can keep up to 8 guys if you want. You could dump them all back in the pool if you want. It's up to you.
And this is all like current players?
Current. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It'll now remember, this is just based on what the players are going to do, Teddy. It's fantasy baseball, not simulation baseball.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
I think I'm probably interested.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'll shoot you an email. You can let me know.
It'd be cool. It's fun. All right. So hitting, well, I would say I got my money's worth from Tod Helton. Almost a 1,200 OPS. Batted 380.
That's crazy.
Yeah. In real life, he batted. Yeah.
So we played in Coors Field for the entire season, or
possibly. Well, you know what it is. It's taking advantage of some of that hitting. I mean, he wasn't facing my pitchers, which were pretty good. He was facing basically Paul and then 3 teams that had so-so pitching. So, but
Yep.
yeah, so that's pretty solid. And then we had Larry Walker. This other guy doesn't count because he only had 5 at bats. Dick Allen, nothing to sneeze at, 1085 OPS. This is Nick's guy Patrick Beltry, another nice over 1,000 OPS. And where did Maurer come in? All right, not too bad, 984, almost at 1,000. Stargell, nice, very nice.
What did I pay for Carpenter? That 38 plate appearances of 1,700 OPS.
You paid $1 for him, but that's pretty good.
That's pretty good. Pretty good for $1.
You got your money's worth for $1. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So that is qualitative. Let's see what we got on the quantity side of things. Keep doing that. Let's see. Sort by. Let's do home runs first.
Okay. See my Cirillo 49 doubles, so that's accurate.
Nice.
Beltray 57. Okay.
Yep. Beltry, wow. What an animal. 57 homers, 154 RBIs.
Yeah, he injured his left foot that year, or whatever his front foot is. I think it's his left foot. And so he was, because I remember at the time I had a coach who was telling me that the reason Beltray was so good that year was because he was forced to stay on his back foot because of the injury.
That's funny. The injury forced him.
And my coach, I guess, had coached Beltre before, so
Wow, that's
that's
pretty
what he
cool.
said. I mean,
Yeah,
so
that's pretty cool.
yeah.
All right, so nothing out of the ordinary there. I mean, Alan, fantastic. Actually, Finley did a little bit better than real life. I think 36 in real life, 41 in the sim. So I got some good production out of Finley. Kadir did nicely for Teddy. So some crazy hitting numbers there.
Yeah, the Cobra knocked in 128, so
Yeah,
nothing to sneeze at
very
there.
nice.
Who led in stolen bases?
Yeah, see, that's where I have an advantage.
I think I saw Carlos made 33 steals, 26 caught. Maybe I misread that.
Yeah,
but
no, I'm pretty sure you read that right.
Uh,
I saw that too. That was pretty extraordinary.
I'm like, dude,
26
you know,
caught, I think might be a record.
that will
I'm not
kill
sure
you.
anybody's been caught that much in reality.
Well, Knicks guy's number one, Moreno. He was, I mean, Moreno, he had a season where he stole 96 bases, so he's legit. But then after that, the next 1, 2, 3, 4 guys are all mine.
Yeah, and they all have pretty good rates too.
With
So.
good percentages, exactly.
Yep.
So that definitely was an advantage. And let me see. Yeah, so this will hurt for sure. Anything under 70 is probably not going to help your team, and that definitely will not help your team.
The 55.9, that's no good.
But the caught stealing record is 42, so he's not quite.
All right, he's not quite good.
Not quite that bad.
Despite that, he scored 111 runs.
Wow, that's funny. So, all right, Gardner, nice 23 doubles, 11 homers, 11 triples, 10 homers. So that's nice across the board production. All right, good stuff here. And I decided to go with Billy Martin 3, you guys, because and Derek, you've heard me say this before. You know, I thought he tended to distort the stats, but I made sure that all the extra catchers I threw into the auction had good throwing arms. So in other words, I'm leaving it up to you guys. If you want to take a chance on having a bad arm, you know, you could be exploited. In other words, the catchers were there to prevent the stolen bases. So as long as we have that, then Billy Martin is up for grabs.
Right.
And then the last one I wanted to show you guys, which is very instructive, is this one, the summary screen. So OPS.
Wow, how did your team outscore me? I'm shocked about that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's why. My team is going up against 3 pitchers with so-so starting pitching, and I'm counting yours there, Teddy minus Wood.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas your guys are going up against Paul's team and my team, who has pretty decent pitching. So I'm in other words, my hitters are facing weaker pitchers constantly, whereas your guys, 2 of the teams they're facing have pretty solid pitching, and
yeah,
that's how you account for that differential.
Okay.
And then pitching wise, even my pitching was a little bit better than Paul's. And then here's another thing that is impactful in this particular auction. So I also had the best defense. 82 errors compared to, for example, Paul at 159. That's pretty significant. So when you have teams that might be somewhat evenly matched in other areas, the defense can be the thing that tips it in one direction. Because even if you look at here, let me show you one other thing about the impact of the errors. So take a look at, so Paul and my ERA and Paul's ERA, not that much different, a difference of 0.21 basis points. But look at the differential in total runs.
Yeah.
115 difference, and that's because of all the errors. Yeah. All right, I think that sums it up. All right, so let me X out of this. So guys, I will obviously summarize all the stats, send you a nice stats package to take a look at and see if you can identify other patterns that maybe I didn't call out. But again, thank you. Just thank you for participating in this and just finding it enjoyable, finding the challenge enjoyable. Teddy, please consider playing in the fantasy leagues. It'd be nice to have you. It'd be nice to compete in that realm with you as well. So give us some strong consideration.
Yeah, how many guys is it?
Is it 10, Derek?
It's a 12 team leagues.
Yeah.
12 teams.
Yeah. And the platform that we use to do the auction is Fantrax, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which I thought worked out pretty well last year.
Yeah. The only thing it doesn't, and again, it's free. So, but I wasn't thrilled with we're using before that ESPN. Yeah, I think we're using ESPN previously. And ESPN, you couldn't see the statistics for players that you had dropped, or basically you only saw like their total stats. It kept the accurate stats as far as the standings were concerned, but you couldn't really drill down and see like what did this guy do for me on when I had him active. And that's kind of a pet peeve of mine. So we moved over to Fantrax, and yeah, I think it worked pretty well.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Cool. All right, awesome. Teddy, I will start working on the prep file. Again, I'm leaning towards those five, the best seasons of those five players I mentioned, but I might pick a different five. I'm not sure, but I'm going to stay with that Hall of Fame team.
Awesome, sounds good.
Yep. And Derek, if you want to play, just let me know. I think right now
Yep.
I have five, but including me. So if you decided to play, just let me know. If you can't, no big deal.
Yep.
All right, guys. A big thank you. All right. Have a good night.
Yep.